In this video, we're going to cover making a female face in polymer clay. I always start my piece with a small ball of aluminum foil, and I showed real quickly how it fits in just the back portion of the skull. It's mostly just to keep the clay thin so that it bakes properly. I cover the piece foil with about a quarter of an inch of clay. I want the bulk of this clay to be on the back of the head, but it's a little thicker on the front. Now I'm doing more of a subtractive sculpt with this. I'm going to establish the planes of the face and the general shapes, and then I'm going to mark where my eyeline is going to fall, and then I'm reducing the clay by manipulating and indenting on either side of the nose and the forehead, and I'm establishing, like I said, all the planes of the face. I'm bringing the clay forward to become the jawline, the bottom of the jaw, and then I'm marking my center line and dividing the clay with the tool to leave the clay for the nose and the mouth. And now I'm adding in clay between to be the bridge of the nose. And I'm not doing any detail yet. Everything is just rough general shapes. And I want to go ahead and start getting the sides of the nose established, and establishing the brow bone above the eye. I also want to keep track of the length of the face. The length of the face from the bridge of the nose to the chin should be approximately the same size as the hands. And I had already sculpted the hands for this face in the scale that I was going to use. So I was showing the hands, and I'm adding some clay for the nostrils and the nostril area and the septum to make sure I have enough clay there. I think I end up shortening the face a bit. I don't want such a strong, prominent jaw. I think I do end up cutting some of that off. I'm not used to doing voiceover, so I'm still practicing this. I hope you can follow. I've sped this up drastically. I actually, there I go, cutting the mouth in. Just a general shape, getting the size, the proportion from from pupil to pupil on the width of the mouth, making sure I have enough clay. I like to do this version because I don't have to keep adding little pieces of clay, and the face kind of forms itself as I go along. There is a full-length video of this. This actually was it's a pretty quick way to sculpt a face. Actually, I think the whole face was done in like an hour and a half in real time. If you want to go past add the amount of time that I spent cleaning it and getting the clay perfectly smooth, it probably went on about maybe 2.5 hours. Now here I'm going over the eyeball size, how to choose the right size eye for your sculpt, because a human eye is actually it's not huge. It's literally 1/5 of the width of the head. So you're going to be looking at the overall scale of the piece that you're trying to make and comparing it to the size of the eyes. Bigger eyes, you're going to get more of an elf-like look. Smaller eyes, you're actually going to get more of a realistic human look because our eyes are small. Okay, so the eyes are set in, but I haven't added, well, here go the lids. There they go. I'm going to add clay above the ball to be the upper eyelids, and then I'll repeat for the lower lids. Right now I'm just seaming things in. I usually try to do the exact same area on each side of the face. I don't completely do the eye, like upper and lower, and then go to the other side, because it helps me with symmetry if I use approximately the same size piece of clay on each side. So I try to go from doing this side to the opposite side without jumping ahead, so I don't get lost. Okay, so now we're adding the lower lid, and because this is very shallow through here, I decided to add a slightly bigger piece of clay than I normally might, but I needed to make sure that there was some meat added to the size of the fleshy part under the eye, not just that thin lid that might otherwise need to be added, because I did this type of sculpt with it, with using the tools to create the bones instead of adding them on top. And you can see how quick this face can go. You just want to keep in mind, and I have that image there for a reason, because it helps to keep you in line for what the shape of the face should be as you go along. Whereas a photograph, you may not see it because maybe their hair is in the way or whatever. This was something I had found online, and I thought, oh, that's perfect for illustrating for the video, how to keep track of what the face's shape should be. I do a lot of brushwork once I get the basic shapes in. I find the paintbrushes do just as good a job as any other tool of getting those shapes in, and I don't have to add tool marks. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. I don't have to add tool marks. I just get a nice smooth surface, and you can move the clay with the brush just as easy as the tool. But sometimes for smoothing, there's nothing like just a perfectly round paintbrush handle. Just use it as a roller, and it flattens and smooths where you want it. Like I flattened her forehead out a little bit, and I think I'm working on the tear duct area at this point, just getting the general shape of the eye the way I want it, getting things smoothed out. And like I said, at this point, I have already done 90% of the detail work on how I want the face to look. So the video kind of ends abruptly, but that was mostly because I didn't want to waste too much camera time on actually smoothing the face, which I have other videos that show in more detail how I smooth the face. And the fine details that I do on this, because it's a youthful face, there's no wrinkles to worry about, there's no dimples or anything like that I was going to add to her face. So I didn't add any of that into the video. But I hope that if you like how her face turned out, that you take the time and go find on my channel the original video. I do drift out of camera on it. It was one of the first videos I ever recorded, and it's difficult when you're sculpting to keep your hands directly under the camera, especially when it's right in front of your face. And you have to bring the piece to your face to see some of the tiny details. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I thank you for watching. Go check out the full-length video if you want to see it without the fast forward. Thanks for watching.